what I got was that you said that you're trying to help out Pakistan in a way that the gas which is being supplied or utilized by Pakistan, a certain amount of gas goes waste, right? Those special containers, you can like supply those gas things in those containers. It can be supplied to like 200 kilometers of area ranging, and those gas containers can be used by Fuji plant, and other industries can also use that gas, which gas was going waste when we were exploring it in Pakistan. Is that right, Investor?
Well, yes or no? There are two types. There are, as I said, oil producer fields that when the same production of oil makes the gas they don't use the gas. They just flare the gas. So the gas is going to the air, to the space, and nobody uses.
Okay.
Our idea is that we can take that gas by a system, compress that gas, put it into these special containers, and take that gas to whatever consumer requires it. That could be an industry, that could be any factory, could be house appliances in a city, you name it. So that is one. So the other is the gas.
Just a sec, Ambassador. So let me talk about this gas first. So that gas will be compressed in the containers, and that will be provided to the people, to the customers at their doorstep, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So
I mean, it's just a business, Mr. Rana. It's just a business that somebody needs gas, and somebody sells the gas. The one who sells is the one who is running that field of petrol, who has the gas flaring, and he sells the gas to somebody who needs it. And what we do, we bring a system that will transport, let's say, as you use an example, like a taxi, we will transport that gas from one place to another. We are not going to buy the gas, neither to sell. We are only going to transport the gas. I mean, the Argentine company, transport the gas and deliver it to the one who is going to use it. And that is back and forth. And normally, when I say 200 kilometers, could be 100 kilometers, could be 300 kilometers. It's by road in a short tracks that comes and goes all the time. This we have been doing it in many countries in the world.
Okay.
I don't know if you get the picture.
I got the picture. I'll just repeat
Okay.
I'll just repeat you, and so that the viewers should also understand. The gas will be compressed, and they will be put in like special containers, right? And then
and special containers.
In special containers, and then it will be like supplied at the doorstep of the consumer, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So that's one thing which you people are doing, which Argentina is doing, which one of the companies of Argentina is doing, and that is being done in several other countries also, right?
This company is providing that to several countries in the world. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Correct.
So that
what you say, Mr. Rana, that the gas is wasted. This is wasted, but there are other fields like in Sindh or other places where there are wells who could be in production. They are there, but the gas is not used, but it's not wasted either. It's there under the ground because they are not either. They have not enough pressure, or they don't have enough gas as to make it economically feasible to make a pipeline from that well to the network. So because that costs a lot of money. So what we do is, in this case, is offer to those companies who owns that field to produce the gas, to take it. This system will compress the gas, and again take it to whatever consumer requires that gas.
Okay, got it.
It's the same. The difference between one and the other is that in the first is the gas that for the last 15 years or more has been wasted, and the other one is gas that has been there, but it's not feasible or not economically feasible to take it because there is not a method. We are bringing the method, we are bringing a system by which you can use that gas as well.
I got your point. So the gas which is being not used or could not be used because of technical, there was no technical know-how, or there was not enough pressure. So that gas will be compressed in special containers and will be supplied at the doorsteps. So this is what you guys are doing.
This as to make a summary of all this, the most important thing, message of this, Mr. Rana, is that the gas, either one system or one or the other, is gas that we are suggesting, we are offering to Pakistan to provide it to whatever consumer, and it's not taken by the network of gas. I mean, what today you talk about, Pakistan has a certain amount of gas into the system. Let's say the cake is of such system. What we are providing with this is a small additional cake, which is not into the first, so that when the Minister of Petroleum says we don't have enough gas for this and that, could be right, but this is additional gas. That's why when I started this part, I said Argentina will try to help to reduce the deficit, meaning coming with an additional portion of gas to be used for whatever purpose, industry, domestic consumption, CNG, you name it.
Okay, got it. So the second thing is about hydropower. You're talking about turbines. So that's related to the energy sector, right? So how will you manage this thing? You said that you're going to place these turbines, the hydropower turbines, on places. Where exactly do you think these turbines will be placed? And secondly, you said that 40 megawatts of power, 40,000, yeah. You said 40,000 megawatts of power is not being utilized, is not being used, and which is there and it is not being used. And even half of that power, like 20,000 megawatts, is produced. We can overcome our energy crisis. How are you helping us out in this particular? Can you elaborate this thing?
Well, so far we are not helping in this because we are trying to bring a company with a very internationally known company to the country, and I tried before even, but because unfortunately because of the security situation in your country, in that time they were reluctant to come, and they didn't come and participate in these projects. But I'm trying to push them again to come into any of these projects. When I say the 40,000 megawatts, it is like, let's say, imagine, for example, when it is the potential of Pakistan to produce 40,000 megawatts. If you talk about Basha Dam is 4.4 thousand megawatts already. So it's a 10% of what I'm telling you. But there are many other power plants, potential power plants, hydropower plants that could be placed in different places of the country that will, in the total, create that 40,000 megawatts that I say. I'm not telling that Argentina will come and help. I'm just giving you my objective information of what Pakistan has. Pakistan is a very rich country in this natural resource, and that's why I know that WAFDA is doing a good job, but they can still do much better than that. And of course, this should be there should be a policy to attract further and more investors from abroad to come and invest in these fields from abroad. And given the necessary conditions, the necessary assurance that when they come here, they will get the proper treatment and proper securities.
Okay. So this is a suggestion which you are coming up with. You can also help us out in dairy products. We have lots of milk in Pakistan, and we're talking about containers, the compressed gas in containers. You can supply them, you can transport them to other parts of the country to the consumer. How about containers, special containers, cooling containers, because lots and lots of our milk which we produce in abundance, and that goes waste. So are there any any containers which you can come up with, or is there any company interested in Pakistan who can give us those containers, invest in our country, and provide us with those cooling containers in which milk can be sent to other parts of the country so that we can save lots of milk and we can make some money out of it?
Mr. Mubashar, I think that what you say is like music for my ears. This is something you will not believe, but this is something I've been trying to persuade Pakistani people, particularly in Punjab and Sindh, about this for a long time. I learned when I arrived here, and I totally agree with that Pakistan is probably the 5th producer of milk in the world. But I would say that it's one of the largest destroyer of milk in the world as well, because exactly what you say about the lack of this cooling system. Normally, the farmers, small and medium farmers, they are milking the cows or buffaloes in a place, and they putting that milk into a very even not very hygienic, but let's say tanks or tubes, and they're lined up there under the sun, or in the best case below a tree, until somebody with a little truck takes them to a city, and then they put it in the cooling tank. In the moment in which that happens, until they get to the city, the milk has been completely spoiled and will not be used for industrial purpose. What you say is exactly what I've been trying to do. I would try to persuade if it's not one farmer or two farmers, as to make it as a collective group, to have cooling tanks of 500 or 1,000 liters with a temperature of 4 degrees more or less in one particular place. As soon as the milk is milked, they throw it into that and keep it there under that temperature until a cooling tank with a truck comes and collects that milk and make the operation, the transaction with the farmers. And then that milk could be used in a very satisfactory way to produce cheese, to produce milk, to produce powdered milk, that is probably the most important production that you could do, considering the amount of milk that you have, or to produce other like butter or yogurt, whatever. So that this is done in Pakistan in very small scale, in a proper way. The rest, as you say, more than 60% of the milk is wasted. It's wasted or could not be used in a proper way. We've been trying to do this. We've been trying to talk to PARC, Pakistan Agricultural Research Council, and other institutions, NARC and so, to see if we can do and help us how to get into the private sector, because at the end, the one who has to respond to this is the private sector. But so far, I have to confess, we have not succeeded. But this is the only part, when you mention about milk sector, it's the only part in which we will like to participate, because there are other countries like Australia or New Zealand that are more into the business of milk in this country, and they're doing very well, but also fighting with these problems, as I've been told by my colleagues. What we are really interested, and we've been pushing a lot, is in another part of livestock, but not milk, but it's meat. As you know, Argentina is very famous. Probably we produce the best beef in the world. And we are trying in many sectors, official, in private and public, in particular in Punjab and in Sindh, to come into the country, providing with the technical provision of equipment as to produce a state-of-art slaughterhouses, as to treat the animal from A to Z, meaning to get the animal, the cow, to sacrifice the animal, of course, in the halal system, and then into a very hygienic and proper way, go until the end to cut the meat, in particular cuts, into a very proper packaging, looking after that meat to be sold or to be exported to the region like Gulf countries or others. And this is what we are trying, because you will see if that is done, the benefit for the country and the benefit for the producer and the farmer will be enormous. I mean, it's unbelievable the benefit that you could have to do it in this proper way. We are trying to do that. There are a company or a group of companies who have been coming, I think that already 8 times, eight opportunities to Pakistan, and there is a very slow motion way as to get to the final result. But so far we are very far still from the line of arrival.
Okay, so but at least you people are trying to work out things in this particular feat, right? So
yes, right.
Yeah. Okay. So one last question I would like to ask you, and that is about education, like students, like interaction of students, like people from Pakistan, students from Pakistan going to Argentina and studying over there, and so on and so forth. It can go like vis-a-vis. What do you have to say about that?
Let me ask you again. You are talking about students. Students.
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking about students.
Okay. No doubt, education is probably the most important field in which a country, education and health, a country should look after. And Pakistan, even though that's doing something, is not, from my point of view, is not enough what they are doing. But in this field, unfortunately, Argentina could not help totally. The main problem of Argentina to participate in any education program is the barrier of the language, particularly from here to Argentina. In Argentina, most of our courses, primary school, secondary school, and university, most of the courses, with a very few exceptions, are done in Spanish. So that it's very difficult. I mean, unless the students go to Pakistan and takes time before to learn Spanish and then enter into the system, otherwise it will be impossible to run any program. It's not impossible, and I say it's not impossible, and for that I take my hat and I really with admiration, because Cuba has made a fantastic job in this respect, even though that Cuba also speaks Spanish the same as us, and Cuba has granted almost 1,000 scholarships to Pakistanis to go there and to study medicine, and they are already the first wave of doctors are ending this year and coming back to Pakistan. That is something that really I admire, and I really think that Cuba is doing a great job in that respect. But of course, they go there, they have 1 year to study Spanish, and then they start deeply into the studying medicine. But so it's not impossible. But what we have done, yes, in a very small scale, we have done, for example, signed an MOU between the two diplomatic academies of Pakistan and Argentina, in which we are exchanging students to come and participate in the courses, annual courses that Pakistan gives to Pakistani junior diplomats and from other countries. And Argentina is the only country in South America so far that has already participated with two diplomats, junior diplomats, in 2 different occasions in Pakistan. And we are very proud of that. And Pakistan also has sent 2 or 3 years ago 2 junior diplomats to Argentina to study Spanish over there, and also was very successful. But of course, this is a very small scale, but it helps because it's part of that. We also had for 2 years, almost 2 years, in my embassy here, I implemented here. Unfortunately, the teachers of Spanish left the country, but we had for 2 years a Spanish school at my embassy. So there were a lot of Pakistanis coming and learning Spanish in my embassy. I hope I can restart that program again, but I need to get the teachers.
So I think we have got some very good suggestions from you, and the efforts you are making to the things which we can straighten out, or we should take care of them. You people are helping us out, and especially you, Ambassador Rodolfo, who's you're trying your best to work out things between Argentina, Pakistan, and especially the natural resources which are in abundance in Pakistan. You're trying to explore them in one way or the other. You're trying your level best. We really appreciate that, and we're really thankful for that. And I hope this thing, this education thing starts working, and especially the Spanish language programs which you had introduced earlier, they also start working over here. And it's going to be I would say, I'm short of words over here when I look at you guys, because you stood by us, whether it is Kashmir issue, whether it is United Nations, and whether it is 71 or 1971, or whatever stance or whatever positions you people have been taking for Pakistan in every forum, internationally, and you people have been helping us out, and we really appreciate that. The people of Pakistan really appreciate that. Thank you very much for joining me today, Ambassador. It was really pleasure. Mucho gracias.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Babashar. I don't know if I still have 1 minute to tell you one particular message.
Sure.
If it is.
Please go ahead.
You did ask me something that I was expecting you to ask me. Probably you are not aware of that, but for the last more than 3 years, I've been struggling. Mr. Babashar, what I wanted to tell you is that for the last 3 years, I've been struggling to try to persuade the authorities of Pakistan to go on one project that I think that will be probably my best achievement in Pakistan in my 8 years. That is, if I can succeed to make the extension of the polyclinic hospital into the Argentinian part. I don't know if you heard about this. This is a project that I've been discussing with the chairman CDA before, the actual one, with the Planning Commission, with the Minister of Health when it was federal, with the Minister of Health now provincial, with all the authorities, and particularly, and I also discussed this with the former Prime Minister, Mr. Gilani, that there is a possibility of extending the polyclinic hospital into the 1/3 of the Argentinian part, and build there a building of 1,000 new beds and additional consultories to make this hospital that is today very important hospital in the city of Islamabad, who has around 7,000 patients per day, and of course doesn't have the necessary space and necessary facilities to give them a huge building, a modern building that will be, as the project is, will be called, if it's done, and if all the authorities are concerned are helping to do this, will be called Argentinian Pavilion, and I will be very, very proud to do it. I've been pushing this, even with Dr. Chiani, who is the director of the polyclinic. He's very much aware, and I would like, if you can, one day you can interview him. He's a real fighter on this, and we have discussed this with the CDA. Everybody is agreeing on that, but at the end, something is going on, bureaucracy, I don't know, is stopping this. I'm looking forward now to see the new Prime Minister, Professor Ashraf, and one of my special messages to him will be this: please do it. The people in the country is always asking the government to produce results in 2 areas, education and health. This is a possibility for the government to say, mission accomplished, if they do this. But it's there, they can take it, it's very simple. It's only the way to take step forward and do it.
That's a very good initiative, Ambassador, and I once again appreciate that, your concern, because it's close to the Polyclinic Hospital. The Argentina Park is close to the Polyclinic Hospital, and you people are trying to help them out, help the Pakistanis out, help us out. So you want an extension to be there, extension of the Polyclinic to be there, and I'm sure the people at the corridors of power who are like going through this interview, who are listening to this interview, they will definitely help you guys out, because in 3 years you are struggling for this thing, and you want Argentina Park to be part of Polyclinic part, and you can come up with like 1,000 new beds over there. And I'm sure we can help you out in this one, and I'm sure that we'll try to make the government of Pakistan, the people of the government of Pakistan and the authorities, the Capital Development Authority guys, to understand that this is a very good initiative and it should be accepted as soon as possible. Thank you very much for joining me, Ambassador, today, and it was really a pleasure to have you on my show. And once again, muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. Shukriya, Mr. Mubashir.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. एम्बेसडर अर्जेंटीना हमारे साथ थे जी मौजूद, और उन्होंने कहा जी कोई इनिशिएटिव ले रहे हैं पिछले 3 साल से कि अर्जेंटीना पार्क जो पॉली क्लिनिक हॉस्पिटल जो इस्लामाबाद में है उसके साथ अर्जेंटीना पार्क है, और उसमें एक्सटेंशन करवाना चाहते हैं, 1000 बिस्तरों का वहाँ पे एक्सटेंशन पॉली क्लिनिक की करवाना चाहते हैं वो, और अर्जेंटीना पार्क की जो ज़मीन है उसको वो साथ देना चाहते हैं ताकि वहाँ पे वो एक्सटेंशन हो सके पॉली क्लिनिक हॉस्पिटल की इस्लामाबाद में। 3 साल से वो कोशिशें कर रहे हैं, लेकिन अभी तक उनकी कोशिशें कामयाब नहीं हो सकी, और वो चाहते ही हैं कि किसी न किसी तरीके से जितना जल्द हो सके इस पे काम हो जाए। कोशिश कर रहे हैं जी कि गैस जो निकलती है पाकिस्तान में, जो गैस निकलती है और किसी न किसी वजह से हम उसको यूटिलाइज नहीं कर पा रहे, उसके लिए वो कुछ स्पेशल कंटेनर्स मंगा रहे हैं। एक कंपनी यहाँ पे आ रही है अर्जेंटीना की जो कि अगले को 8-10 रोज में काम शुरू कर सकती है, और उसमें जनाब वो एक कंप्रेस करके गैस को और स्पेशल कंटेनर्स जो हैं वो डिलीवर कर सकते हैं डिफरेंट जगहों पे, चाहे वो इंडस्ट्री हो, चाहे वो कंज्यूमर्स हो, चाहे वो जिस किस्म के भी कंज्यूमर्स हो, वहाँ पे वो गैस जो है वो सप्लाई की जा सकती है। और इसी किस्म की जो कोशिशें हैं वो जारी हैं, बट द पॉइंट इज कि अर्जेंटीना हैज़ ऑलवेज बीन वेरी काइंड टू पाकिस्तान। उन्होंने हमेशा कोशिश की है कि किसी न किसी तरीके से पाकिस्तान को हेल्प आउट करते रहें, और वो कोशिशें अभी भी जारी हैं। खैर, आने वाला वक्त क्या लाता है यहाँ पे, कुछ कंपनीज जो अर्जेंटीना से यहाँ पे आना चाहती थी, और स्पेशली रोडोल्फो मार्टिनी सराबिया जो एम्बेसडर हैं पाकिस्तान में अर्जेंटीना की, उनकी कोशिशों से आना चाहती थी, सिक्योरिटी की वजह से नहीं आ पा रही, नहीं तो यहाँ पे एनर्जी के जो मसाइल हैं वो भी किसी हद तक कम हो सकते थे। एनीवेज, वी आर कीपिंग आवर फिंगर्स क्रॉस्ड। राना मुबशिर को इजाजत दीजिए। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।